You notice that later on. That's the new town hall. If there's a new town hall, what else do you think there is as well? An old town hall, which is down there. The building with the green tips. That was pretty much wiped out in the Second World War. They finished restoration in 1974. So you might be thinking, John, that's strange. They're kind of confusingly titled because the old town hall is newer than the new town hall, and the new town hall is older than the old town hall. Does that make sense? If it didn't, guys, go to the Oktoberfest later on and drink beer. That's the solution to all of mankind's problems, I promise you. Right, so we've spoken about the town halls. Now, Sonny's going to tell you about the infamous tourist attraction of central Munich.
Are you guys ready to watch the Glockenspiel? How many of you have already seen the Glockenspiel?
None.
2 people, 3 people, and you came back. Nobody watches the Glockenspiel twice except for these guys. Alright? Glockenspiel is absolutely terrible. It's 15 minutes of your life you're never going to get back. It is on our flyers, so we are going to see it. We are going to talk about it. About halfway up this building behind me, this green area, is called Glockenspiel. It goes off approximately 3 times a day, at approximately 11, approximately 12, and approximately 5 o'clock. I see you looking at me very confused, like, Sonia, you just said the A word. Approximately. This is Germany, the land of punctuality. That thing must go off by the nanoseconds. It doesn't. It's not automated. They actually hire a dude named Wolfgang to climb the steps 3 times a day and push a big Go Glockenspiel button. Sometimes he is early. Sometimes he is late. And one day during Oktoberfest last year, he did not show up at all. We were down here going Go Glockenspiel, and nothing happened. So be prepared. Now the bells are starting to go off. I want you to notice Marienplatz is full of thousands of people every day. People show up because they have read about the Glockenspiel. But I am going to tell you the most fun part about watching the Glockenspiel. I'm not going to shout this out because this is only for people on this tour. So I'm going to ask that you huddle in towards me real quick. Come on in. Can you hear me at the back there? Very good. Guys, the show's not behind me, the show's behind you. I want you to look behind you at all the people with cameras. Especially the ones with the really heavy cameras. The thing is, every single day, Marienplatz fills up with thousands of people who have read about the Glockenspiel. They hear the bells, and they get excited. The cameras go up. Minutes will melt by. Nothing happens for the first 6 minutes. Noise. And those guys don't know that. So every day they show up and they're smiling and they're ready. And minutes melt by and they switch hands. And eventually go to a 2-hand grab. And the cameras get lower and lower and lower. By the time this thing actually moves, you're going to find them on the floor and do not pick up your cameras until I tell you to. It's not that exciting. Alright? Now back up just a little bit more. Off here, alright? Now, Glockenspiel did recently win an award. It's rated Europe's #2 most overrated tourist attraction.
What's number 1?
A night out with John. Number 1 is the astronomical clock in Prague, for those of you who've seen that. Astronomical clock in Prague. And that one only won because it's a few minutes longer. Greatness. Now, Glockenspiel split up into 2 scenes. The first scene is a scene about a wedding. That is the wedding of Duke Wilhelm V to Renata of Lothringen, Lorraine in France. A Bavarian duke marries a French princess. In order to celebrate this union, they have a festival, they have a parade, and they have a joust. You guys all know what a joust is, right? No? 2 men get on horses with really long sticks, racing at each other, trying to knock the other guy off the horse with the stick. The man with the longest, strongest stick wins. It's very phallic, it's very manly. Now this is a joust between a Bavarian knight, what I like to call the Bavarian dynamite. He comes out of this side wearing blue and white, the colors of Bavaria, and he is jousting against an Austrian knight, the biggest jousting competitors of the Bavarians. The Austrian comes from this side, blue political ideas, wanting to change Germany. No, I'm just kidding. He comes from this side, also at night. I'm not going to tell you who wins the Glockenspiel. I don't want to ruin it for you. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Pick up your camera! You may need to turn the shutter speeds up on your cameras because it moves so fast. Try to not blink for the next 15 minutes. I don't want you to miss anything. So the first thing you see is this parade, and then the knights will come out. If you have a heart condition, please don't stare directly at the Glockenspiel. It's so exciting. I'm a little sarcastic when it comes to Glockenspiel. I've seen this thing 387 times on the live pack. Get ready. Bavaria versus Austria. Who's going to win? Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Oh, nobody wins. Everyone's a winner. They missed the first time around. Just in case that was too quick for any of you, they are going to come back again. I promise you, second time around, there will be a clear winner. You have to imagine if you were a farm boy in 1908 and they won the first time around, your heart might explode. I did lie to you a little bit. I said no one watches the Glockenspiel twice. That's not actually true. There is a Glockenspiel fan club. Glockenspiel devotees, they watch it every day, 3 times a day.
No way.
They're in the United Colors of Benetton window. You may think there's a mannequin in the stories. What's going to happen to you if you watch the Glockenspiel too many times? Alright guys, this time when the knights come around, when somebody wins the Glockenspiel, I want you to join me in making a really loud obnoxious noise, a really loud cheer. I want those people back there to think it's a lot more exciting than it really is. Alright, get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Yay! Bavaria wins again! Yay! For the last 104 years! Sorry, Austria. Well, that's the first scene of the Glockenspiel. Second scene I'm going to let John tell you about.
So, we're waiting for the bottom half of the Glockenspiel to start. It's a different story from Munich's history. Another story of the plague. I get to talk about the plague today, guys. What a great honour. Going back to 1516, okay, the plague was in town. Again, killing lots of people, as the plague tends to do. One group of people were really worried about losing their jobs. They were coopers. Coopers are the guys you see up there doing that amazing dance right now. Isn't it spectacular? They were clearly wasted. They should have gone for a job in the Bavarian State Ballet, I'm sure. Okay. Now, does anyone know what a cooper does by trade for a living? They make barrels of what, everyone? Okay. Again? Okay, so they're really worried about losing their jobs because people didn't want to go outside and drink beer, understandably. When the plague came to an end, the coopers were the first people out on the streets of Munich, and they did this little dance to let everyone know it's safe to come outside, because that's clearly the internationally recognised symbol for the plague coming to an end, isn't it? So the Duke of Bavaria saw it, and he thought it was great. He thought it should become part of culture here, so he asked the coopers to do this dance every 7 years in Munich, and that's what they've been doing. Okay, they did it this year in February, the Fashion Festival, on this square and elsewhere in central Munich. Now, if you were so blown away by this performance, you want to come back to Munich and actually see the real coopers do the dance. You're going to have to be patient, guys. The next performance isn't until 2019. Okay, you've got plenty of time to book your next flight to Munich, right? There's a guy right at the back as well, with a baton in his right hand. You've seen him up there? He's doing a pelvic thrusting movement, or he was anyway. That's not historically accurate. I don't think it is anyway, Sonia. I think he's put up there to give everyone a bit of a chuckle. Okay, the Glockenspiel's a little bit on the boring side, isn't it? Now, finally, as part of the end of the plague celebrations, there was a clown running around and he'd paint children's noses, which was unfortunate to have as a celebration. Does anyone know what paint had in it back then? Yes. Lead. So you had to survive lead poisoning as well. Okay, right, that's the bottom story of the Glockenspiel. Sonia's going to finish it all off for you, okay?
There is a grand finale to the Glockenspiel. I see you looking at me like, Sonia, it cannot possibly get any more exciting than this. But there is a precipice to all of this excitement, but we are not going to watch it. And I'll tell you why, because there's 7 more minutes of bells. You might have noticed nothing's moving. And then comes the grand finale. So since we're not going to see it, I am going to act it out for you. If you look at the very top of the glockenspiel, you're going to see a little golden owl. His name is Fritz. I watch this every day. I get to name the characters. Fritz the owl. Alright? At the end of the glockenspiel, Fritz is going to step out. I want you guys to back up just a little bit. A few more steps. I don't want to hurt anybody. Keep your sunglasses on. If they're applauding, they don't realize it's not over. 7 more minutes to go. Alright? At the end of the glockenspiel, Fritz is going to step out. Keep in mind, he has a 3-meter wingspan. At the end of the glockenspiel, Fritz steps out. He expands his wings the full 3 meters. He claws his way through the netting and swoops out, circling Marienplatz. Mary's column shoots like a rocket to the sky. David Hasselhoff propels off the side of the Rathaus, singing, "I have been looking for freedom." And Fritz spews beer out of his mouth. We all raise our glasses and toast to the glory of glockenspiel. No? You didn't read about it in your guidebooks? Unfortunately, that's my fairy tale version of grand finale. What really happens is far more exciting. Are you ready?
Yeah.
End of the glockenspiel, Fritz is going to step out and do this. And that is the grand finale of
Crazy
off with a bit of disappointment. It makes us look a lot more interesting later on. If you guys are here to talk about something a little more exciting than glockenspiel, if you are coming on the city walking tour with John and I, we are going to ask that you please follow us in to the new town hall. Let's go this way, guys.